Happy Sunday. Right, Insta. I'm ready to knock my tea and everything over here. It's one of those nights. I just need to make sure YouTube's working. We were live, but it was on no sound. Hi, Instagram. Happy Sunday. I'm all over the place. So, I just need to check that YouTube's working. Apparently the sound wasn't working, so I just want to double check. Here we go, technical issues before we even start. It has been a week of technical issues. Happy Sunday. Thank you everyone for joining. Right, YouTube, is that better now? I can hear you now. Right, brilliant. And I thought we were doing well, being on before everyone else. These are all back. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Hi, Facebook. Hi, Insta. Have you all had a good Sunday? I hope you're good. I hope you're feeling positive. Right, let's see. Sound, it should have sound now, so I will delete the last live on YouTube when I come off. Right, okay, let's see, just everybody's sorted, ready to roll. Happy Sunday. Oh, brilliant. Thank you to everyone who was very patient this week. So we had a technical glitch on Tuesday stroke into Wednesday. Our voice note stopped working. Obviously we do a lot of mini readings and a lot of annuals, so I don't know if it was something to do with that, but we didn't get a resolution ticket until yesterday. So thank you, everybody was lovely for being patient. Thank you so much. You always won, right? And it's fine, other than that it was all good. Right, okay, oh my gosh. I was cleaning the glasses as YouTube went down. YouTube, yous are really turned up tonight, so use Instagram and Facebook. Yep, bath, cuppa and ready. I love that. You gave me a reading and I've never needed it more. Oh, Nick, I'm glad to hear it. I hope you're okay. My wee Sunday night highlight. I love this. Thank you much. Heather, I never even got a chance to read any of your messages. I am so sorry. I've been head down, thumbs up. Right, still no sound. I think someone's in the old live in YouTube. I just want to double check. Right, okay. YouTube, are we okay? There's going to be a lot of people going into the old live. So if you're on YouTube and you're trying to go over and it's no sound, you're on the wrong live, all right? Why is YouTube doing that? Yeah, sounds good on YouTube, right? We will go with it. We will go with it. I had to take the dog out. I walked Curry him back so I could get my cuppa. Oh, I love it. Cup of tea on a Sunday night. Coffee in the morning, tea at night. Hi, Maria. Hope you're well. So the volume is back on YouTube now. It's just that when we hit the live button originally, I had to cancel the live and start again because there wasn't any volume. It is in our link tree if you want to go over to our YouTube. I loved your voice note when you were fragile. Thank you, Hayley. Oh, I love it. Oh, Michelle, if you're focusing on time and you're living your life through my reading, then that could be the problem straight away. You've got to just let it go and let things play out. And that's one thing, but it's not what we're doing tonight, but when you're getting a reading, there's a lot of expectation on the reader. Sometimes you do know we don't make it happen. We give you what we get and you've got to run with it yourself. That is why I don't read for friends. That is why I've been pouring into my own cup, because it makes me giggle sometimes. I'm like, you do know I'm not making this happen. You do know I'm not here just for constant advice. Right, okay. Loads and loads going on. Right, let's do it, Violet. Let's get started. Remember and subscribe. Thank you, YouTube. If I am too fast speaking, please pop it in the comments and I will try to slow down. I am Scottish. It started already, guys. I've been digging deep down these rabbit holes. Well, do you have your pen and paper? Are we ready to roll tonight again? So tonight we are going to touch on Vance, Kanye West, P. Diddy, a little update with P. Diddy, Gino D'Acampo. I'm excited for that one. Because someone has spoke out and which was predicted, but I'm going to lead you all to the video because I think the more views this person gets, the better. I am in Scotland without your glasses. You're beautiful. Well, I'm sorry, I can't see without my glasses, so you're on to plums. Oh, you're going to see Josie tomorrow? Right, okie dokie. And Jay-Z as well. All right, so obviously the case has been dismissed between Jay-Z and P. Diddy. So let's get started. All right, let's start with J.D. Vance. Now, obviously, J.D. Vance had put out a speech on Valentine's Day. Nothing love in it whatsoever, apart from the fact that he has upset the full of Europe and probably everyone else in the process. So, JD Vance is the Vice President. He is age 40 right now. He was born as James David Vance, 2nd of August 1984. He's a politician, an author, an attorney, and a Marine Corps veteran. A member of the Republican Party, he represented Ohio from 2023 to 2025. Now, his book is actually made a film in 2020. Now, Vance was born as James Donald Bowman, but his mother decided on her third husband that the third husband should adopt him. And they then changed his name to James David Hamill, but David was his uncle's name. Now, his childhood was marked by poverty and abuse, and his mother struggled with drug addiction. Him and his sister Lindsay were primarily raised by their grandparents, James and Bonnie Vance. James and Bonnie Vance. Now, he does say that he does descend from Irish and Scottish links. Beat it. He met his wife in 2013, Ushuaia. I think that's her Usher, as you say her name. At law school, and in 2014 he got married. He's got a German Shepherd called Atlas. JD Vance, I'm just letting you know, I've been digging deep. I have been digging deep, and I think it's important that we know a bit about this guy because he's about to cause a lot of bother. Now, yes, on Valentine's Day, he basically lectured the full of Europe about freedom of speech. Bearing in mind he comes from a country with gun laws. It's not safe where at school, or to be safe, or make sure your children are safe every day, but he thought it was okay to lecture Europe on freedom of speech. And he also, which I popped a video up yesterday, obviously we do have laws, all right, but they're extremist laws, as in to protect people who are out doing their day-to-day things, abortion clinics and things like that. But he made it sound in the speech that us poor Scottish people had been told we can't even silent pray in our house. So are we ready to say they'll marry the now? I'm joking. But he put it across like that. Now, that is not the only thing he's put across, but for Scotland, that's probably one of our things. But he's been very, very, uneducated around his speech. Trump doesn't care. Trump's loving this. He's loving every bit of this because, well, why be a clown if you've got a full circus of them? And JD Vance is one of them. The reason I thought it'd be good to know a little information on him is because he is going to become a massive talking point. There's predictions about him as well. I do feel he is just a pawn in the game. We know this has all been predicted between Elon Musk and Donald Trump. I said this a long time ago, before Trump was even re-elected, that it would be going to war. I feel we're already getting to that stage. JD Vance is just stirring the pot. But I do see, and it's in my predictions, so I'll come at the end, but I do have predictions for JD Vance. I don't see him lasting long, put it that way. Clearly never met a pistol Scottish woman. That's what I was thinking. See, when I seen it, I was like, wait a minute. Are you talking about our turf? Thank you. Remember and subscribe. So, predictions will come at the end, but the reason we're going to be speaking a lot about him and we need to know a lot more about him is because I feel he's going to be a massive talking. There is a summit tomorrow where all the European leaders are getting together to speak of Trump and his actions. Now, that's in the predictions as well, what Trump's response is going to be, and it's in the breaking news part as well. But I want to come on to Gino D'Acampo. Now, obviously, there's been a lot of speculation in the paper in the last week, but I'm sure a lot of people could be in the same opinion as myself. He's maybe a very flirtatious guy. His personality was built on this over the years with ITV, and I think a lot of people are finding it hard and struggling to think that he could possibly be capable of something much worse because of his personality. I didn't make any comment last week because obviously victims are coming forward, so something's happened for that to be said, and you don't want to disrespect any victims. But fill up your cups, guys. Fill up your wine. We're going for it. I'm sticking with what I get. And this is probably going to be the first person I'm ever going to back up. And I'm not on the fence about it, but I'm going with my initial reaction. So in March 2024, Gino declined to sign a contract for ITV for On the Road with Fred and Gordon. Now, the reason they declined to sign this was because there were original dates in place, then they changed the dates, and allegedly, Gino D'Acampo said, not doing them, don't want to do this anymore, and ITV were pretty raging. Now, we spoke about this before. We've spoken about this person very, very recently. But your man Dan, Holly Willoughby's husband, is very, very influential within the media. I've done a little bit of digging deep. Where, again, he's got a little bit of strings that he could pull in the media, bring out stories or put the pressure on someone. Now, this argument took place in March 2024. Obviously, some of the clips are of Gino and Holly. So is Dan trying to run the narrative that Holly's a victim? Not his princess. Not Princess Holly. Really. So I do feel there's going to be connections. We're going to start to hear a lot more about it. But this is what I wanted to come on to. Vanessa Feltz has a YouTube channel. I came across it today. She's put a video out about Gino D'Acampo. Now, she speaks very highly of him, found him very charming, flirtatious, said it was the Italian in him, he was a great chef, misuse of his language, but obviously doesn't mean it at times, maybe does sometimes, but it was all part and parcel of the personality. She's always known him, obviously, through working with him as well. She said that ITV had employed him for all those reasons, and it's been the bedrock of his career. Now, she backs him up, and she says she's worked with him, and she doesn't think ITV... What was it she said, sorry? She doesn't like ITV. So what I think is, there's a story out about Vanessa Feltz in the paper about 2 weeks ago. Her ex-partner, I think he's got a new baby, he's getting engaged. I remember reading it thinking, why would people just report a story like that? All that's going to do is hurt someone. That's not really news. Now it makes sense. Because she's obviously against ITV, so that is one of the first celebs that we can categorically say in the UK that is standing against ITV. It is Vanessa Feltz. She is on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, I ask you to go and watch the video. If you agree with the video, subscribe, like, comment to the video, because she makes a lot of good points about ITV. And the sad reality is, around the Gino D'Acampo thing, of course there's something going to come of this, because his behaviours were how we seen them. Now, we credit celebrities on being the same off camera to on camera, and in this situation that's very different. It's not acceptable, apparently. So I think we're going to hear more in round about it, but I think Vanessa Feltz is going to be heading up something around, where there'll be a lot more support and people having their freedom of speech. JD Vance, we're over here having our freedom of speech, by the way. Don't you worry your wee cotton socks about us. So that's the Gino D'Acampo. What do we think so far before we go into all the other juicy stuff and the predictions? Loose women are with Gino and 2 Corey stars. I think it's going to divide ITV, but ITV has not had a good run for the last 5 years. They are clutching at straws. I knew the ladies in Loose Women would back him though, because they had a lot of beef with This Morning for the word go. Again, to do with Dan the man. Why are we not speaking enough about him? If you're wondering who I'm speaking about, YouTube. Holly Willoughby's husband, Dan, I think it's Bowman. He is married to Holly Willoughby and just keeps protecting her left, right and centre. She seems to be the only one that's come out trumps on this so far. And it's funny how this has all come out just as Holly's TV programme's starting. Just saying, not one to gossip. Baldwin, thank you. Oh, I'm going to have a look, Kaylee. I am good. It's all right, the trolls still pay. It's fine, they still need to watch the adverts. And there's no tag on the YouTube video, so a lot of people are coming into the live and they don't actually know what the live is. It's purposely done. I refuse to watch a TV show with her in it. Gino's just a typical Italian man. But this is the thing, he is going to be held accountable now, because, again, they're obviously trying to crucify him for something. I don't think it's just down to do with the contract, but I think that we've spoke about this man Dan for about 1.5 years. It strikes me as the type that he is pulling the strings more than what we think. It sounds like he's been thrown under a bus. Gosh, Slim, and I'm going to need to put you in time out. At least get a good chat up line. I am actually embarrassed for you. Hi, Martha. Right, okay, Holly's time will come. 100% it will. The end of this year. Someone's asked my religion. Do you really need to know? Is that how small-minded you are in life? Right, let's get back to it before I start square going with these trolls. Because once I've got my glasses on, I can see the comments. When I've got my glasses off, I can't see them. Right, okay, let's do some breaking news. Has Gino spoke out about any of this? I don't think so. 100% Angela. Keith Lemon's time is coming. Well, you don't really do the good stuff when you're speaking, so you don't need to worry, TR Carter. Right, okay, breaking news. Right, so a Mrs. Zuri George has blocked a number of regulations. Now, in Mrs. Zuri, the abortion law is out. It's temporary that you can have abortions there again, but it could be temporary for now. But the law was put in just before Christmas, but it's only now that they're acting on it, so there's been change there. Now, Trump had put a post out on yesterday, it was. He who saves his country is not violating any law. So again, that post is very, very concerning, as we know, but I feel it's rage bait. I feel like he's looking for a reaction, and I don't feel he's the type to hold summits and meetings. I feel like he's going to do a lot over social media. He thinks in his head he's being transparent, put it that way. Please help, I can't stop laughing. Why? Enjoy laughing. I'd be more worried if you're crying. Peter the Greer. I need to stop with these trolls. I'm going to need to take my glasses off. Right, okay, so there's been a bad breakup in Valentine's Day between the USA and Europe. There's going to be a summit tomorrow where all the European leaders are going to come together and they're going to discuss Trump's actions. Now, you can imagine Trump is a control freak, a narcissist, so he's going to hate that all these people are talking about him, holding opinions and making plans without him. So I feel by tomorrow night we're going to have some sort of reaction back from Trump. I will say on a serious note, it's pretty much what he said in the tin. He's willing to break any law to get what he wants. And America are going to suffer, but not just America. It's a bit political, but let's do it. Obviously, because he's backing up Russia now, in a sense. Russia are the enemies. That is not going to change. But at the moment, because he's backing them up, that it's making everybody else very uneasy. Hence why these summits are happening. Right, okay. What else do we need to know? Elon Musk, baby number 13. Unlucky for some. So it has came out that Elon Musk has another child. And it is a lady, Ashley Sinclair. She is actually on social media, and you can actually see when they've hooked up. She puts a post up to say that she's came off birth control, contraception, because she feels it brings in too many toxins to her body. She's put the post up. Elon's wrote under it, sure. And that was November 23. The child is 5 months old. So they got it on after that post. Who said romance is dead and online dating doesn't work? So Elon's 5 grown-up kids didn't even know about baby 13. Has not acknowledged it. Now, he has not acknowledged it publicly yet. He might have done by this point, but as it stands, I don't think he has. So I think what's happened is he's had contact with this lady up until the beginning of last week. He's stopped contact altogether. So she's just thought, oh well, I'm going to put it out on social media. That'll get a reaction, and that's exactly what she's done. China this week has also launched an investigation into Google. So I feel we're going to hear a lot more around that in the next 6 weeks, and I feel we're going to see a lot of changes with Google, social media and the internet in general, but Google in particular. Now, it's the French president that's called the summit. I should have said that already. Obviously, Russia being the enemy, I do feel this week we're going to get into a war of words. We're going to be hearing a lot where, as civvies who maybe don't always understand politics, myself included, I feel this week's going to be a scary week around things that are being spoke about. Also, earlier today, there was a single-engine plane that came down this morning in Georgia. There were 2 people on it. They are both dead. There is a full investigation by the FAA to decide how this happened and why it happened. But that was the next plane crash, and that was this morning. And today is the 16th of February, 2025. Right, okay. The plane took off at 11 a.m. Eastern time, and by 11:22 it was on the ground. So like I said, there's an investigation into that, and that was in Georgia. Right, okay. Jay-Z has cleared his name. He's no longer been sued by Jane Doe, the 13-year-old girl who obviously put in the case originally, by Tony Busby. Both Diddy and Jay-Z have both been dropped from the case. Now, this is where it gets a bit interesting but confusing at the same time. So apparently the case has been dropped voluntarily with prejudice. Now, usually it is without prejudice, which means then they could then come back later on and take that to court if they had to, but it is without prejudice. So that means that lies have been found out, or the case is definitely not stable and it's been proven of inconsistencies. But what it does mean is that Tony Busby cannot go back and put this back through court again, even though it's a civil, because it's a voluntary dismissed with the case, and it's prejudice. If it was non-prejudiced, it would be different. Somebody smell a rat there. I just think it's weird. Do you not think it's weird? Even when I deep dive and look for stuff on Jay-Z, very hard to find. Very, very hard to find. Not sure about the helicopters in Glasgow. I didn't notice any, but somebody can maybe put them in the comments and see. But it also means that Tony Busby is given, and it's going to make him look quite not credible, because now there's been found as inconsistency. So what's basically happened is the witness wasn't vetted, and Tony Busby had said an independent company had vetted the witness, but they hadn't. So now that's been found out. Obviously the case has collapsed. It's funny how the two names now, P. Diddy and Jay-Z, now P. Diddy's got more charges coming through all over the place, but P. Diddy is completely innocent when they both played the same story. At P. Diddy's birthday, he got the family out, he got the birthday cake out, they done a FaceTime with them. And if you actually look, it's very similar to Jay-Z. When The Lion King came out, he stood strong. Now you could say that he was saving his name, he had nothing to hide from. Who are you kidding? Who are you kidding? When in reality, they were actually doing the same work for Jay-Z and not P. Diddy. So how's P. Diddy going to feel that his big pals got off with this and he's still pulling strings? Because, and I just want to make sure I've covered everything with Jay-Z, P. Diddy is a different story. So do you remember when the jail, the prison, got raided not long after P. Diddy was in? So Sean Combs' lawyer is saying the night his rights were violated and breached over a raid at the jail, police spoke out and said it was pre-planned and not necessarily to do with Combs. But the lawsuit that's been put in place is an investigator went into Combs' cell and they took photos of 19 pieces of paper where notes that Sean Combs had wrote on. Sean Combs said that that was privileged information. Privileged information. When you're in jail, it's a bit late. But the court and the judge ruled that it couldn't be used in the end. So the judge ruled 19 pages must be destroyed and the government could not use it as notes in their case. Now, this is because it was then agreed that his rights maybe had been breached, but also on those notes, there was evidence to prove that Sean Combs was trying to pay off a witness at the time. How did that get ruled to go thrown out of court if that evidence was there? But now they can't use that evidence because it's been ruled out, and it was a judge in the last few days that's ruled it out, basically. What do we think so far? But we're coming on to Kanye West next, and it made me think something with P. Diddy and Kanye West. We always think that Kanye West was trying to deter his sale. Keep a bit of detachment from Jay-Z, P. Diddy. What if P. Diddy was trying to stay away from Kanye West? And there's a reason I'm saying this. Because since he's been in prison, Kanye West is visiting his sons. They're meeting at hotels. He's giving them clothes. He's putting posts up where he wrote #FreePuff. I hope you were talking about smoke and not P. Diddy. But he's writing posts about how P. Diddy is the best dad and how he aspires to be the same type of dad as him. So it's making me think that one of the only people still working for P. Diddy is Kanye West. And when Kanye West was kicking out about how he said that they took his mum, the Illuminati and things, I don't think he was lying, but it's because they put him out the fold, because he's a bit of a pest. He's a bit unpredictable. He is off the platform X now, but it hasn't been confirmed or denied if Elon Musk took him off or if he disabled his account himself. The judges have been paid off. I think so, but this is in with my predictions. And someone came back and was like, nah, you're wrong. Can I just put it out there? If you're watching this page for the actual news, you're batshit crazy. Why are you here looking for the current affairs? Go on to BBC News, Sky News, but don't come on this page and tell me you can see all last week. I'm like, why are you arguing about this? You're on a psychic's page, like actually a psychic's page, and you're having a go at me, telling me you don't believe my work, so why are you arguing it then? If you didn't believe in it, you wouldn't talk about it. So that is the update on Pdiddy. Right, okay, and some more predictions. Right, okay. Tony Busby, obviously he has backtracked. He has got a lot of clients with things against P. Diddy, Jay-Z and a lot of other people. But this is going to make the celebs feel a little bit more at ease because there's been a little bit of a hiccup here. When in reality, they could put that case back forward as long as they had different information and it doesn't hold the same content, and that's a legal thing. Psychically, I get Tony Busby's got something up his sleeve for Jay-Z. I feel it's coming between April and June. I think Jay-Z already knows, so as much as Jay-Z's saying this is a victory for him and how much it's affected his family, but why is it a victory? Because you still get put through it. So there's a lot more to come out, and I feel that someone's words are going to shoot them in the foot. We've spoke about the summit tomorrow. Idaho murders, this is quite a big one. This is why I've kept this one to last. We have had a lot of updates. I'm going to take a wee break for a second, take a breather, and then we'll go to Idaho murders. Right, what do we think, team? Hi Carol Bell, I hope you're well. You're on my list, don't you worry. Kanye West is waiting to take over with P. Diddy. Nah, I think it's too late for all that. But he is the link to how the Kardashians ended up having links with the Illuminati. So it started with Kanye West before it started with the Kardashians. If you think back, before Kim got with the Kanye West, she was with Chris, oh gosh, that footballer guy. And their wedding, or their marriage, lasted a month or something. And then Kanye West came on the scene, and all of a sudden Corey Gamble was there. The stepdad was coming out as Caitlyn, and it just went a bit tits up. Chris Humphries, thank you. Some wedding, by the way. You're more interested in the news. Aye, but then they start fighting me about it. I'm like, get yourself over to BBC. And just so you know, when I'm doing my fact finding, I don't just go on and believe videos that I see. I will literally look at lawyers' videos, solicitors' videos, where it's legal advice, so it gives me a better idea. The Kardashians think they're everything. Oh, not for long. Oh, I don't know, Violet. But if someone keeps reporting me your comment, don't keep writing it. I know, Michelle. Oh, Michelle, that's a good point. So, if you remember rightly, P. Diddy was obviously in the hospital. That was 2 weeks ago. I came on and said, there's nothing to panic about, he's got a sore knee. But Michelle's made a really good point that I never thought about at the time. The only time when something is totally private and cannot be recorded is during a doctor-patient consultation. Funny how you get rushed to the hospital with a sore knee. You're right. Wendy Williams has been locked up. I've already said that. That was another prediction. Her and Bruce Willis are playing about absolute blinder. But I feel they're backpedaling with something as well. We're going to hear something about Obama this week. Just so you know, I feel Thursday or Friday. Did you see in Twitter post seemingly there's a video footage of George Clooney taking advantage of Justin Bieber? Oh, I've not seen that. Thanks, Fiona. Thank you so much. Remember, and like, comment, subscribe, the usual. Remember, give us a wee follow. I'm popping the mini readings out as well. we've been trying to get back up to date, so I have a few annuals to do. I think, Carol, you're in the house, you'd popped yours on, so I think you're booked in for the Wednesday, but I'm going to do some minis as well. The president just got back for the Epstein Island. Brilliant. That's great. How's Tupac doing? Tupac's coming back, guys. What about Zelensky? I feel Zelensky is in over his head. In over his head. And I did predict it. It's in post, it's on video. But Trump was going to give us world peace, but not world peace with him. He's putting everybody else together to have peace against. And if you look at Notre Dame's predictions without being scary about it, he did predict Russia was going to take over the world. And we've always had it in our head that America would be our allies. And now it's starting to look, would they be our allies? I don't feel that the UK and America are going to have a good relationship in the next 6 months either. I don't think the BAMs are still together. No, definitely not. I feel that we'll know this in June though. Right, okay, let's go to the Idaho murders. So there is 2 unidentified DNAs. Now, I did want to double check this because it has been reported that the DNAs were identified, but looking today, I can't find any evidence of that whatsoever. Now, one part, it was blood DNA. One was found on the railing at the staircase, and there was a glove outside found as well. Now, this is where it gets interesting in the Idaho case, and it's worth knowing. That's why I brought it onto this live. More because there is going to be a lot coming out around this case where it could all look a bit one-sided, like Brian Cober's just fighting for his life when in reality he's guilty. I don't feel that's the case, all right? So what they basically said is there is a DNA law where if there was DNA on beer bottles or railings and things, they wouldn't send it away because it's not eligible. And what they mean by that is it could then incriminate an innocent person, so they tend not to. So they basically said that they have denied to send these 2 batches of DNA away. Obviously, Brian Koberger has already said that the DNA was found through genealogy, his dad's DNA, so they're already, again, questioning his violation of rights. But they've done it for Pdiddy, so why is Brian Koberger any different to a certain extent? But there is a new judge in town. The old judge was a bit laid back, apparently, and it was starting to annoy people whether this new judge is completely different. So Judge Hitler is the new judge, and the trial is scheduled for the August 11th, but it's scheduled to run right through to the 7th of November. Now, the jurors will not be picked until July 2025, which, again, could be quite daunting if you're one of the jurors, because you can't get away from this case. But I find it very strange that they've not tested these 2 parts of DNA. One thing I've came across, and I'm just going to give you it. Brian Koberger had a bit of beef with one of the lecturers at his uni. He also was involved in a situation the week before regarding his behaviour towards women within the university. Now, I have said on my Idaho murder crime case, which is on our playlist, that I thought he was innocent. And I do feel there was a frat party. I looked at forums, and I will keep saying this and saying this. I looked at forums not long after the murder happened. There was a party, a frat party next door that's still not been reported. So my question is, did the neighbours, did they check their DNA? Was their DNA ever traced? Could their DNA be connected? But one of the other things that we've not spoke about yet, one of the surviving victims allegedly was known for selling substances. Now, bearing in mind that phone call to the police did not take place till the next morning. This was a drug-fueled party, but they're saying that the people that were dead did not have drugs in their system. Toxicology reports have said no. I don't agree with that. Or whether it was a substance that, again, doesn't trace, I don't know. But I've said it for day dot. There was blood on the knife, but it was the tiniest little bit of DNA that then tied Brian Koberger to this case. But in reality, the white car, where if he had committed such a heinous crime, such a bloody crime, why wasn't the blood all over the car? Now, someone came back and said, yeah, but it was 6 weeks later before they got the car. That doesn't matter. They would still be able to find it. Why didn't they check the other white car, Lantra, that was the Finn's parents' car? Did they check that car for forensics? Did they check that for DNA? Did they drug test the 2 surviving roommates to see where the compos mentis? All the questions I'm asking, and I think this is everything that's going to come out. I like the Luke Mitchell case, and if you're in America, please type up Luke Mitchell, look on the James English podcast. I'm going to keep putting you to it every Sunday that I'm live. It's going to be the biggest miscarriage of justice in Scotland, but I do see the Brian Kohlberger case being the exact same, except the difference with Brian Kohlberger is he was a law student. He knew the minute he was getting set up with this crime, there wasn't much he could do other than learn to find his way out of it. Hi, Christian. I hope you're good. He's like, here she's on again. Think about it. What if they murdered them not next to the car, but they were wearing gloves, so they dragged them to the car? The blood would be all over the snow. There was none. There was none. None whatsoever. And the point I'm making with Brian Kohlberger's lecturer, this is a small town. I have said it for the word go. There must be corruption within the police or within the politicians. And the fact that there's 2 unidentified DNAs there, why are we not reaching to find out who they are, just in case? Because maybe they know who they are and they don't want to know. They don't want to rock the boat. But I don't feel we'll know until mid-trial the golden nuggets that Brian Kohlberger's got. Corrupt police everywhere. Totally agree, Anne. Thanks, Ifty, for joining. It was touched DNA from Brian. Could have been transferred easily, 100%. Whether the other parts were blood. Blood in the railing, blood in the glove. Then I seen another crime podcaster where she was like, I'd been out at the scene and I left my glove. Oh, sit down and shut up and give peace. I'm not sure about the lady who was shot on Valentine's Day. I'm giving my love and condolences to the family. It's not something I would bring onto our lives so early on. Normally a case like this, it would go with the small town, but they insisted on keeping it. Yeah, so they took it to the capital, basically. But I think they've took it to the capital because they knew there was going to be discrimination, and they might want to prove that in the capital. Right, have I covered everything? Just check all the predictions. JD Vance, there's going to be legal issues around him early April. You shouldn't open your mouth, JD Vance. Also may claim threatening behaviour, so I feel he's going to try and run a narrative of assassination in some way for his sale. Oh, he wants to be the main character in the story. But he'll be fighting with Elon Musk and Donald Trump over that one. Right, the Idaho murder case, more information that would make the case look unsteady. A woman will speak out in the media and weaken the case, so I feel we're going to start to hear around. And again, these students are much older now. They're probably in their careers. They're probably well educated in their cell, and gossip always goes a lot further. But if you can, look up the forums. They might be down now. For the minute the house went down, a lot of the forums got pulled down as well. But there was a frat party the same night next door, and one of the victims' aunties actually confirmed it in a text. But again, was not brought to media, and it's not really stuck. But I read it in the forum, guys, so write it down. She does have it. I left YouTube. I was getting angry with the comments, Jill. I've not seen them. Hold on. Who am I putting them out? Let me see. Oh, I can't see them. They hide from me, so you can see them more than me. It's starting to look like Lucy Lake. We've done it. No, I don't agree with that one. Thanks, Hefty, for joining. Have we enjoyed it? What do we think? I'm a Scottish leprechaun. Leprechauns are Irish. At least if you're going to troll me, be educated. Numbnuts. I agree, yeah. I've said it. I strongly agree that Lucy Letby is guilty. What's she got to lose by constantly appealing this? She doesn't need to think all the parents that have been affected by, again, as it stands, guilty. Her hands, the murder. Remember and subscribe, trolls. I'm here every Sunday, 8 o'clock. Don't miss me, because let's face it, you don't go anywhere. You just stay in your rooms. Or you're projecting your unhappiness, and you're obviously wanting some of my happiness. Thanks, everybody, for joining. Oh, Mark Zuckerberg, he's been quite quiet, actually. I was going to pop a post up about him the other day and I forgot. Somebody thinks I'm Scandinavian. Okay. Right, guys, thanks for watching. I'm going to do some mini readings, so you can PM the page if you would like to book. I'm going to come live this week and then do some readings at the start of the week. Can't see, all these comments are held for review. T. Carter, you're a bitch, you better hope I'm not a bitch. You'll know at 1:30 in the morning when there's a wee ghost taking a big toe. What predictions for us in the UK in the next few weeks and months? So I have put these threats down. No, the threat level will always be high, but whatever America does, it's going to impact. We're hitting a crash, but it'll hit America before it hits us. The financial crash, I think, will hit America between April and June, and I feel it's going to hit us more between mid-August right through October. I want to say the UK are going to be changing a lot of their benefit systems as well. We're going to be following suit with America in the sense that a lot's going to be taken off a lot of people and a lot of talks in around poverty, but that's something we'll come on to in the next few weeks. It's not relevant right now, or it's not coming in the next week or so. What is coming in now, TikTok's been bought over, but I don't know who's bought it. A lot of messages actually about, Christy, have you seen this in TikTok? No, listen, I just focus on actual TikTok, the politics behind it. I'm not interested in what's going on in actual TikTok or when people are arguing and fighting. Toes curls literally makes my toes curl. Some people realise that there's a life outside TikTok. It's okay, the real world's out there. Can you hear it? I need a prom day. Oh, you better get some age in. If you're still going to prom, you shouldn't be up at this time. You should be in your bed for school. Right, guys, I'm going to be taking a week off on a Sunday, but I don't know if it's next weekend or the weekend after. So I will pop it up my wee post to let you know. I will keep you posted on Facebook and Instagram. TikTok is weird after the shutdown, so if you're in America, you've probably noticed it as well, your algorithm and things like that. No, it's just we talk about like the actual politics of TikTok and who's going to buy it. I'm not interested in the actual politics people make as their content. It makes sense, maybe the best way to put it. Do you think holidays abroad will be affected this year? Good question, and 100% going to answer it, yes. But it'll be on your own merit whether you go or not. I don't see airlines stopping it. I don't see you being told not to go, but the threat level will tell you all. I see it being very lively this year. I did predict it last year and we're already starting to see it, but the threat level's much higher and we don't speak to our British tourism about it or any tourism about it. It doesn't make sense. Are you looking into Lady Gaga? They're saying she's stolen someone's identity. Oh, we'll need to look in. I'm watching this and my son just came beside me and asked if you could see him and you looked at the camera, he shit himself thinking you could hear him. Yes, the Zen Den's on tomorrow night, even though the schools are off. Yeah, I'm working tomorrow anyway, so that's fine. It's not like me to turn up my school night as well, or a non-school night. Yes, it'll be on tomorrow night. Thank you for reminding me. So the Zen Den is a free class for the law of attraction. Anyone who'd like to donate actually to the event on the 28th of February in the Thornywood in Uddingston, just get in touch with Tracy Woolpit and the Homemade with Love charity. They will take all your donations. I am 40, it's the 28th of February. I am also doing the walk for autism from the 28th of March to the 2nd of April, but I will pop my wee link up after the end of next week and start getting my steps in and start practicing. It's 10k a day. So keep a wee eye on my story and my TikTok, Christy Readings. You'll see it in a link tree. I do go on it quite often these days just to pop up wee videos. More just to, again, things with the boys, because I love looking back at my days in the life. So thank you, YouTube. You've been very interactive with short videos as well. So it's greatly appreciated. I'm not going on holiday for the foreseeable. That's it. We're all going to Butlins. It's going to be so exciting. Right, if you'd like to book a mini reading, PM the page now. Admin will take your booking. 3 cards, 3 voice notes, £15. 3 cards, 3 voice notes, 2 cards, £20. So if you'd like to book, PM the page now. We are nearly up to date. And as I said, the voice note was down last week. It put me a little bit behind, but you're all lovely. Craig, I hope you all stay safe. Take care. Thank you again to everyone. You all turn up on a Sunday night. And I really, really appreciate it. It makes all my wee research and I love doing it. Love doing it. But again, all your comments, your likes and giving me content, writing in the comments the things you want to see really makes sense to me. So again, if you're watching this back and there's cases that I've not touched on that you'd like me to touch on or other things you would like me to touch on, pop it in the comments. I hope you enjoy the rest of Sunday evening. Stay safe, take care. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, follow. Do all the usual jazz before you get back to your cup of tea and your TV tonight. Take care, see you all soon.